Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for doing this. I want to first acknowledge my colleagues, Director of Division of Law, Mike Long, Senior Counsel in the Office of Attorney General, Christina Brandt-Young, and DOL Chief of Staff, Alyssa Westbrook-Smith, for all the work that, as well as throughout the Division of Law, all the work that's been done, which we'll go over today to ensure that the state has the best quality representation from outside counsel that we can have. And I really thank you all for being a part of this, both for providing that representation and for having interest in continuing to do so. We're going to have what I think some updates on some long overdue revisions to our outside counsel guidelines, as well as an update to our new RFQ process so that you'll all be eligible to continue to represent the state. And as I said, Director Long will share additional details, but just allow me to go over a few things that I think are really important and that I'm very proud to be talking about today. First off, of course, outside counsel is critical to what we do in the state. We rely on outside counsel for many matters, including some of our most important matters. So we not only need the most talented lawyers in the state, of course we do, but we also need to ensure that the process by which we select those lawyers is equitable. And we are actively, and I appreciate so many of you who have joined today, seeking a wide range of firms and lawyers who can represent the state, including having a broad range of expertise. So today, one of the things we're announcing is the release of a new version of the Department of Law and Public Safety's outside counsel guidelines, which explains the relationship between outside counsel and the state. And those guidelines will become effective on November 1st. So please make sure, in addition to staying here today, please make sure you read the new version of those guidelines, which Alyssa has just pasted in the chat. I also encourage all of you to apply for an RFQ, which just opened last week, to provide firearms related counsel. This will allow outside counsel to play an integral role in both our affirmative and our defensive firearm related litigation. And we have a fair amount of that work now. And as you may have seen, we just announced a new office called the SAFE office, which is focused on our affirmative civil enforcement work against firearm industry players. In addition, and relevant to you all today, the Division of Law will be issuing several new requests for qualification RFQs in late October, and which is allowing us to expand the pool of attorneys and firms that can represent the state. This is a long overdue revision. I believe some of these lists haven't been revised in many years, and so this will give us a chance to make sure that the best and most talented firms and attorneys are able to come on board and represent us. And in order to facilitate that, and I'm very excited and thank the department for the work that's been done, and particularly in Division of Law, we're going to have an online application tool for these RFQs. So we will not have to rely on the paper process that has been, probably for those of you who have applied in the past, your experience. And we're going to be hosting a webinar on this new online application process on October 11th. So please make sure you or someone at your firm registers and joins us there so that you can know how to update your information and apply to represent us. So we're taking a holistic approach to updating these lists and updating our guidelines. And that's because who represents us is very important. It's very important to me, and it's very important to the department, not only to ensure, as I said, that we have truly at our disposal the most qualified and best firms, but also that the process remains equitable and that everyone can participate. So with no further ado, I want to turn it over to Director Mike Long, but very much appreciate you all being on this webinar today. And most importantly, thank you for your representation of the state and your continued interest to do so.
Thank you, General. I'm pleased to be here as well, and I thank everybody who has joined us for this presentation. I'm going to briefly give a little bit more detail on the outside counsel guidelines, and then also some additional information on improvements to the RFQ process. With regard to the outside counsel guidelines, you'll see that the body of the document has been restructured to improve its flow and to make it more user-friendly. I also want to direct your attention to certain sections. First, conflicts. For firms that have familiarity with the old guidelines, they will see that we have now placed the conflict section up front. The content there has been reworked to be both clear and concise, and we have highlighted the May 2019 letter by then Attorney General Graywall, which supersedes and expands on the longstanding opinion of former Attorney General Kimmelman. This is to make sure that firms are aware that our conflicts rules provide that the state is not a monolith. And in many circumstances, representation or adversity to one state agency does not lead to a conflict with another state agency in an unrelated matter. We encourage all firms to familiarize themselves with Attorney General Graywall's 2019 letter. We also have several paragraphs there on positional conflicts that firms should review carefully. Second, we have made changes to the description of how we expect the post-retention relationship to be handled by your firm. For example, we require that each retention identify a designated attorney who has the responsibility to to handle firm staffing of the matter, review briefs and other work product, and approve outside vendors, among other responsibilities. Third, we've revised our handling of invoices. As many of you who have worked with us know, we have implemented the use of the CounselLink invoicing software in recent years. The guidelines have been substantially supplemented to reflect specific rules regarding fees and expenses that will not be permitted moving forward. And we highly advise that all firms currently and prospectively working with the state to review those rules carefully. Apart from the guidelines, we also would like to let you know that we are working on internal changes to make this counseling system more efficient and to help reduce inconsistencies in wait time. Now, I'd like to also turn to additional ways that we are trying to improve the RFQ and outside counsel process. We are working on ways to change how we communicate to the legal community about our open RFQs. For many years, we have sent notices about RFQs via email and snail mail, but we are slowly transitioning to an electronic-only system. Now, when you go to the LPS website, you will see a pop-up asking you for your contact information. Please enter that information and forward it to colleagues that may be interested. And this will help us to get updated RFQ information as soon as it is available. If you're not seeing the pop-ups, then please check your browser settings to turn off pop-up control. Additionally, we are developing an online RFQ tool that will allow applicants to submit applications entirely online. Instead of mailing hard copies, 10 copies of everything, the new system will contain forms that are fillable online and allow for uploads of information that is unique to your application, and will streamline the process in that RFQ and going forward. As the general also mentioned, that we do have a pending RFQ out right now that we just posted regarding firearms litigation. The process is currently underway. The period for responses is now open. The period for questions and answers is also open, and that ends on September 28th, 2022 at 5 p.m. And the posting itself closes on October 5th, 2022 at 5 p.m. So please, we encourage any and all firms that are interested in being considered for that very important work to submit to make their submissions by October 5th. Additionally, as the general mentioned, there will be a further webinar that will go into greater detail on all of these developments that we will be hosting on Thursday, October 11th at 11 a.m. It will be a live event with an opportunity to submit questions through the online chat. It'll probably be about 90 minutes long and will provide a lot more information on the guidelines update, as well as the changes to the processes that I've just outlined. And we hope that you will all join us. Thank you once again for joining us for this presentation, and we look forward to hearing from all of you and to working with all of you for the benefit of the state. Thank you.